Okay? And that story is not 30 minutes long. A good three-way call, 10 minutes. Some last a little longer, and that's okay. But you always got to bring it back to about the opportunity. It can't be about the product. So don't ever introduce somebody, this guy's an expert on all the products, man. He knows everything there is to know about it. When I hear that, I'm starting to sweat. I'm like, oh, Lord, I don't want to do this. On a three-way call, when I'm talking, Patty goes to zipit.com. Right, men? Zipit.com. Get out the masking tape.
Make a sandwich.
If Patty starts talking, interrupts me, or even if I'm done, maybe if I pause and and she jumps in and tries to say something, it totally de-edifies the fact that I'm the expert on the line. And that person does, here's the cool thing. I've never been on the phone with anybody and ranted and raved about money. It's not about that. So you see, the faster you do a three-way call, even if you're doing the business and you've signed up 2 people, you better start doing three-way calls with those people. We made a big mistake in the beginning. Brian Conley and myself, we were doing every three-way call for everybody in the entire company. I mean, it was insane. And although it was fun and we were building our team, it was slowing down our team. Because you know what? Nobody else wanted to do three-way calls. But when a three-way call is happening, you don't say a word. You listen. Because soon, you're going to be doing three-way calls. The sooner, the better. Alex does three-way calls with his team. I'm sure Freya does too. People, if you do three-way calls, Jeff, if you do, the more three-way calls you do with your organization, the faster it will grow because you're building leaders. Go ahead, next slide, please. There it is again. You see, I was right. So, in other words, as I said, I'm learning a little bit about Alex on the phone on the three-way call. Next slide, please. Timing, wow. It's not about the timing of the product we talk about, it's the timing of the opportunity. I would say, Alex, you know what? Patty's, if Alex says, hey, I got to think about it, I'm not gonna beat him up on it. I'm gonna say that's okay. You know what? We have a lot of people we're calling. We just wanted to give you the opportunity to get involved first. That's very, very important. Okay. When you're listening to the three-way call, take notes, learn, listen. Here we go. Next slide. Now, using Alex as an example, you're going to get a yes. I'm ready. I want to change my life. I want to make some money. Okay. You're going to get a yes. A yes could mean yes now or a yes later. Hey, I'm very interested, but I still have a few questions. Maybe they got to talk with their wife or their husband or whatever the case may be. A yes to the product or no the opportunity. That's okay too, because you can make some money. But guess what? And there's probably there's nobody better in this company than signing up somebody as a customer, and then finding a lot of people that customer knows who want to make more money. And that's a different art. That's believe me, that's really understanding how to. If somebody wants to sign up for the product, you don't kick the can and go, "Dang God, I want him to be an associate." No, because now you can utilize his contacts. You don't sign somebody up just to make a fast start in a team commission. You sign somebody up to get into their world, to get into their warm market. No, it says never. No, never means never. My gosh, you know what? Let's say, for example, Alex says, Patty, Mark, you know what? This really looks amazing, but I'm just not interested, or I just don't have the time, which is irrelevant. We'll talk about that later. But you know what? You don't forget about Alex. Maybe check back with Alex in a week or two. And three strikes and you're out. No, but after Alex says no to Patty 3 times, then what Patty needs to do, and this is something that if we all get good at, you'll never ever run out of people to talk to. Patty may say, Alex, you know what? I appreciate you telling me that you're just not interested. I really do. Because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste mine. Now that takes some backbone. But you know what? Patty might say, "Hey, I'm going to send you something, and I want you to forward it on to everybody in your email list." So let's see. Would you do me a favor, Alex, and help me out? I know you got more money you know what to do with. If you're not interested, hey, I still love you. You're my friend. But I want you to forward this on to everybody. You might just send a video email saying, "Hey, Alex, hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you, buddy. So now we forward it on. Well, guess what we just did? This is just as good, darn near just as good as signing up Alex because he just forwarded on to everybody he knows.
Referrals.
Why do we referrals? Just because somebody says no, don't get upset. No gets you excited. You know what? No should get you excited because if you're not getting any no's, then you're not inviting anybody to take a look at this. I'd rather talk to somebody that says, Mark, I've gotten 30 no's this week. All right, good job. Well, I haven't made any money yet. I know, but at least you're trying. So get a whole bunch of no's. That's good. Because if you're either going to get a yes or a no, but at least you're getting something. There is no wrong way. There is no wrong way to make money with this company as long as you're following the Diamond Rush Guide. My point is this: if you're not doing step one, inviting, then you're not going to get a yes or a no. We want something. Go ahead, please. The magic formula. People believe in you, they like you, they trust you. That's why you want to talk to people in your warm market. I had a guy call me. I had a guy that was wanting to join my business about a week ago, and I got him on a webinar, and I was about to get him on a three-way call with men. And he said, Mark, he goes, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been involved in some network marketing before, and I'm not talking to any of my friends or family. I'm just not doing it. And I said, because he said, what do I got to do? What do I got to do when I join? And I told him. And he said, well, I'm not talking to my friends or family. And I says, well, I've got to be honest with you, Joe. We're really not starting off our business relationship very well if you're not going to listen to exactly what I'm saying. And I'm listening to what the top earner's saying because the top earners listen to what the owner of the company's saying. So if we can't follow what the owner of the company's saying, I can't sign you up. How many people would say that? It's very, very important that you got to talk to your warm market because if you're uncomfortable talking to people you know, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable talking to people you don't know. Ensure profit duplication. Don't do everything yourself. Lead by example. People will do what they see you do, just like that example about looking up in the ceiling. But again, people join because they believe in you. Duplication, you can't be duplicated, but a system can be. A system can be. The next one's easy. Plug them in. We invited Alex. Alex went to a webinar. Patty didn't get into a big giant discussion for 45 minutes about what Talk Fusion was about, even though he begged her to say, well, Patty, if you're involved and you're making money, I trust you. I have to explain the comp plan. Most people would explain the comp plan on the phone. How do you explain the comp plan on the phone? You can't. You confuse the heck out of them. Men can explain the comp plan to perfection, but I can promise you he's never done it on the phone. At least not in a long time. Maybe in the beginning. We all did that. I mean, imagine put a circle up here in the air and go to the left and go to the right. You're like this, and the other person's on the other end doing that too. Don't do that. Went to a webinar, got on a three-way call with me. I shared my story. And let me say something about the three-way call too. It's very, very important. It is not a sales pitch, and it's not a convincing match. It's not a pressure deal. One thing for sure: when somebody gets off the phone with me, they hang up the phone. If they don't join, I guarantee you this. They're saying, wow, in Alex's case, wow, Patty got me on the phone with this guy named Mark Robinson. Got a pretty cool story. Used to drive a semi-truck and lay sod for a living. Now he doesn't. He didn't try to convince me. He didn't try to pressure me. He just shared his story and asked if I was interested in joining them. That is the most powerful, effective three-way call because he's going to say in his mind, he's thinking, if that's all they're doing to make money, I'm in. But if I'm bulldogging them and just pushing hard for a sale, people don't like to sell and they don't like to be sold to. We don't ever want anybody to think we're selling. In reality, yes, people are buying a product package, okay, so yes, that's reality. However, we don't want them to think that's what they got to do to build a business. As soon as if somebody goes through these three steps to perfection, whether they join or not, they've already been trained, have they not? And if somebody signs up and says, okay, Alex says, all right, Patty, Mark, what do I do? What do you mean, what do you do? Same thing we just did to you. Who's the two sharpest guys you know right now? Let's get them on the phone and we'll just mute out. You invite. Here's all I want you to say. Hey, Joe, it's Alex. Hey, I just got involved in a business, man. I'm really excited. Have you ever heard of Talk Fusion? No. Are you interested in taking a look at the way I make more money? Yeah, man, absolutely. Explain it to me. Hey, I can't explain it. What are you doing at 4 o'clock? Get them on a webinar. Get them plugged in right away. Next slide, please, Karen. Why do we want to plug him in right away? Because when Alex pulled out his credit card and joined, he is the most excited because of a couple reasons. One, because he went into business with his friend Patty. Two, he already realized that he got a new friend and business partner in me, and now he's even double excited. But he wants to make money. He put his money in. He wants to make. If we make Alex money, like right away, the same day, 24 to 48 hours, the longer it goes, the less interested he gets. But if he makes money right away, he is never going to quit because he gets that instant gratification. Plug him into the system is the must. And your goal is to help your personally sponsored associate go bronze within 72 hours. Now, I've had people go bronze in an hour. And all of us have. We've had people that have gone bronze just like that. Why? Why did it happen? It happened quickly, because they were excited. You see, excitement is contagious, yes? Mm-hmm. That sounded like me. He always says that. He'll ask a question, he says, yes. You're rubbing off on me. See that? Hey, I'm coachable. Okay, next slide, please. The primary reason the system is so important, and I want to read this because every time I see this, I understand what Bob has been going through for so many years with us. Because see, I was a business owner, I was a salesman, and I thought I could sell my way to the top, and believe me, it doesn't happen. That's why I got gray hair in the beginning. The primary reason the system is so important is that it keeps and ensures walkaway residual income. You no longer remain essential to the process. Even if you retire, the system and your income will keep going. When I went on vacation, it's a couple years ago, I remember this because the first time I went to Las Vegas with my wife about 6 years ago, I was still in the sod landscape business. And I realized something when I was gone. I took a lot of money with me, and I spent a lot of money. But while I was away, because I was a one-man company, I didn't make a dime. I spent what I took. And that's why we went, to spend money and have fun. About 3 years later, we went back. But this time I was in Top Fusion. So while I'm walking down the strip and I'm having fun and I'm spending money with my wife, I was making money. And you know what? Now, of course, I still had my phone with me. And I'm walking down the strip doing three-way calls. Honey, I'm sorry, I gotta talk to this guy. So, listen, even if I'm on vacation, I will never, ever, ever let anybody down. I'll always be available. But I was making money while I was on vacation. So I remember the 2 different trips to Las Vegas. You go away, you know what? Once you get this thing rolling, if you want to go away for a week, how wonderful does it feel that your income doesn't go down? When you go on vacation now, when you have a job or you own a business, if you own a business and you leave, you might as well forget it. You're not making any money. If you work for somebody else and you go on vacation, yes, you got that week's vacation, but you're not making more money. How would you like to go on vacation, make more money while you're away than you are when you were there? That's what this is right here. Residual income. We'll talk about that. Next slide, please. Make sure that your organization knows and teaches the basics. And how do they do that? Because you have followed the system. If you start your new associate off properly, he knows nothing else. You start him off not properly, then guess what he's going to do? He or she is going to do the same thing. Again, remember, people do what they see you do. The only true measure of an organization's strength is the number of leaders in it who are
following the system.
Following and teaching the system properly. Again, we all have to leave our egos at the door, check the egos at the door. Trust in the system, because I'm telling you right now, there's nobody in this company that is making any money worth talking about who's not following that system. Because that system is duplicatable. Why? Because it's the exact same presentation every time to perfection. That's why it can be duplicated. A lot of people say, well, why do we got to do this? Why? Even though there's different presenters, Min and Leslie, myself, and some other folks, it's the same presentation every time. And regardless of whether you're the sharpest tool in the shed or you're the shyest, maybe Aunt Betsy, Aunt Betsy works at the library and she's shy, she can still invite people to a perfect presentation every time that explains everything. It's amazing that people get in the company and they've never even sent a video email or they've never even gone in their back office and they've made money. Why? Because they follow the system to perfection. And why they do that? Because you introduce it. So you introduce the system to people and you train them. Keep it easy. Let's not make this hard. Go ahead. Benison joined the 72-hour club. This is Alex. He just joined today. Do you think Alex, if he goes bronze, or even if he signs up one person in his first 24 to 40 hours, do you think Alex is going to be pretty excited? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is, because here comes that debit card flying up to New Jersey. He gets in his hand, and I guarantee you, no matter what he's doing, he's running to the ATM because he wants to see if it works. And when money comes out of the ATM, he's in, baby. It's in the story. That's right. I get goosebumps when I talk about instant pay. I mean, after 5 years, you'll get excited when you're making money consistently. Now, instant momentum. Alex goes out and he signs up 2 people. Well, get them bronze. This is the key to the business. And men will tell you better than anybody, yes, everybody wants to go diamond. Yes, everybody wants to go blue diamond, royal blue, make $1 million, make $100,000, whatever. Everybody wants that, sure. But you know what? If you don't master the basics, if you don't understand this right here, go bronze. Find 2 people as fast as you can who believe in you and trust you, and they want to go into business. They want to have some fun, make some money, and use the products. And you know, look, that's what we do. We use our products, which are great. They're awesome. We have fun because we're excited, and we make money. Get good at this scenario right here, and teach that and nothing else. Don't teach anything else. And the rest will automatically happen whether you understand it or not. Next slide, please. We talked about the warm market. It's easier to talk to people that you know. And listen, has anybody in here talked to a bunch of people they know and you know you just blew it, you just, you know, blah, puked all over them? That's okay. Now you got to muster up the strength to go back to them and say, hey, listen, remember about a year ago I called you up and was telling you about a company called Talk Fusion? And they're like, oh, yeah. What about it? Listen, this thing has really changed. I want you just to check this out. I'm really excited about it. I want you to check it out for me. Would you do that? I mean, just get them back on a webinar. Or, here's another great idea. It's a little reverse psychology. I call up Alex, who I blew it 6 months ago. You know, I 35-minute invite, explain the comp plan before I got him on the webinar. I may call up Alex. Alex, hey, buddy, it's Mark. You remember about 6 months ago I was telling you about a company called Talk Fusion? Yeah. Listen, I know you're not interested, and that's okay, but I really need a favor. I really want to make this work. I need to make some money. Will you help me out? If Alex is a true friend, he's not gonna say anything but yes. Great. I'm going to send you something to look at, and I want you to forward it on to everybody in your contact list. Would you help me out? And when people start signing up, when people start signing up, I'll take you and your wife anywhere you want to go to dinner. So you can do two things. Go back to the people that you know you blew it with. I did too. Shoot, there's times today I'm doing a 3-way call in the hamster room. We got this hamster room where the hamsters are, and I close the door and I'm doing 3-way calls. And sometimes I still get a little tongue-tied. And here comes that note underneath the door from my wife. Shut up. You're talking too much. It happens. We all get excited. It's human nature. When we're excited, we want to talk more. Here, it's totally the opposite. The less you say, the better. Relationship marketing. Friends do what friends do. When people are excited, when you're excited about something, they want to know what you're excited about. Out of sheer curiosity, use that to your advantage. Next slide, please. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. I love that. But you know what? The key to all of us being successful, Minh and Julie Ho would not be where they are today by themselves. That's called leveraged income. So, as I said, why did Minh and Julie come here? Why did I come here? Why have I been here before? One, because I like you guys. We're friends. You're always friends first. You get to know people first. You get to know people first. Making money is a blast. It's a lot of fun. Ask yourself this question. Am I working with my personally sponsored associates daily? Not checking in with them once a month or so. Am I working with their personally sponsored associates daily? Now listen to this. This is powerful. This is called driving depth. We'll talk about that in a couple slides. But you work with your personally sponsored associates. Now let's face it. Some people, for whatever reason, maybe they're just kind of taking their time. Maybe they're happy with making just a couple $100, $300 to $500 a month, and that's okay. Do you know if you have an army of people making $300 to $500 a month, you get rich? Man, am I right? But the key is maybe I sign up a guy named Joe, and Joe's just not really that active, but maybe he leads me to an animal of a guy who wants to make money, Gary. So it's okay if I sponsor Joe, and Joe sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody, and all of a sudden I find this guy, your world changes. So drive depth in your organization. You love the people that are staying active and paying their monthly, and maybe they're signing somebody up from time to time. You always keep in touch with people. There's times that I'll just call somebody out of the blue that maybe I haven't talked to in a month or two. I try to constantly reach out to people because of relationships. Next slide, please. Here we go. Bronze maker. Very important. Understand this and only this. This is how you're going to build a successful binary compensation plan. Everybody knows we're in a binary, right? Okay, good. Let's make sure I was in the right meeting. Next slide, please. 2020 vision. Why do we say 2020? We want 20 people on the left, 20 people on the right who go bronze. And there's even a sheet back there. I don't have the page number in front of me. There's a sheet back there we'll show you. So prospect tracking. Go ahead and fill that up. If you fill that up, you're going to be a happy camper because you've set the foundation. But why do we say that? Duplicate bronze maker. Because that's going to get you a foundation to go diamond. Now, I was talking to David Kale about this earlier. There's a system that we're going to follow in the system on the invite. You want to ask at least 5 people a day, or have you ever heard of Talk Fusion? Are you interested to take a look and get them on a webinar? Because out of what you want to do is your goal is to get at least 1 person a day on a webinar. Okay, has everybody got that? If you got to ask 10 people, you ask 10 people. But if you get 1 person on a webinar, that would be 30 people a month. Yes? 30 times 1 is 1. Now, out of that, you can expect 1 out of 5 people signing up. That's a pretty good ratio. Even if our product was styrofoam cups with holes in it, and our comp plan was terrible, which obviously isn't the case. 6 personally sponsored associates over 30 days. 3 on the left side, 3 on the right side. Now, here's the magic. Next slide. The magic is that, so this is what you've produced, and this is what the results were. Well, guess what? Now you have 6 people doing this. And I'll give you an example. There's 25 people here right now. What if every one of us said, okay, you know what? For the next 90 days, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure, regardless of how tired I am or aggravated, whatever, I'm going to make sure I get 1 person on it. Could you imagine if 25 times 30 would be 750? Mm-hmm. Yes? Yeah. Times 4, okay? Am I right? That's 3,000 people. 3,000 people a month from this group right here, prospects. Now, if we're correct on our ratio, that's 20. So what would be 20% of 3,000? That would be 600. That could be 600 people coming into this organization this month. So are you willing to be an inviting machine? Min's story, he'll tell you, when they first started the webinars, there was nobody there for weeks. But then there was, and then a few more was, and then there was a bunch more wases. I'm from Florida. And that's all it is. It's a numbers game. So it's not whoever is the best inviter. It's whoever team is the best inviter. Right now, one of the best inviting teams is the Czech team, the Russian team. They're just machines. They invite. So nothing else matters.